Welcome back, Dodecadorks. We're the 12-sided guys. We have Scott as Ornan the Promiscuous.
At your service.
Service is in quotation marks.
Sabrina as Sylvia the Dragon Slayer.
Oh, hello.
Hello is in quotation marks.
Jordan as Leather Daddy Magram.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, I love you guys. Wink.
Wink is in quotation marks.
You know,
I was waiting for
real
that.
quick, there's actually a reflex called the anal wink reflex. Anyway, Matt as
wait,
Guy.
wait. No, I can't help. No, all I can think of right now is winking at me. I know.
With that
Yeah,
round
that's,
of winks.
That's right.
Matt as Guy the Libertine, more like Liberweener.
That is my name. Don't wear it out.
Wear it out's in quotation marks.
And me, Paul, as the DM. That's right, the dominatrix Morpheus. We're so glad you're here with us as we continue our adventure in Via Severia.
Whoopsh, whoopsh.
Our heroes are heading out into the moist, drippy, sopping wet swamp, and they have no idea what to expect.
Oh,
But
gross.
I do. Shh, it's a secret.
I'm so terrified now. I was excited, but now I'm terrified.
Before you strap on in and join us tonight,
You know, I listened to this with my kids, right?
you've got some splaining to do. Why not take a minute and hustle your little buns over to our shop and check out the exciting treats we have for sale? Also, Patreon is great for anyone looking for a little extra fun. Tee-hee. Come join us in our Discord. We love talking to new, interesting people. We're lonely over there. Won't you come and join us? We're waiting.
You don't have to be alone tonight. So call me, pick up the phone.
Anyway, if you ever convinced a crime lord to pick you over a busty barmaid and a sexy sorceress, then this podcast is for you. It's Chorus of the Forsaken, episode 67. Well, hey, everybody, let me get out of sexy voice and get into regular voice.
Oh, boo.
Welcome back, guys, to Via Severia.
Yeah, we want the whole episode in sexy voice.
We demand it.
You. Okay. Well, welcome back to our Chorus of the Forsaken campaign in Via Severia in the Pythrian Barony. Last time we were together, our heroes wrapped up some loose ends. First off, we had Magram telling all about his journey through the afterlife. The party split up as they prepared to leave the city and wanted to wrap up a couple last-minute things. Magram went to the Glass House of Shantea, where earlier they had placed Damon's body, and he commissioned a statue, a memorial for the druids who came to help defend the city, specifically Damon. We had Ornan go and try to recruit Lewix, the Goliath from the Giants of Gaul mercenary fighting group, and he was turned
It was
down.
a little embarrassing.
Completely misreading the nature of their relationship.
100%.
It was really cute, though.
It was cute. She picked him up and brought him inside and closed the door, and we had a fade to black, and we had Sylvie and Guy talking with the elves across the hall in a sort of clandestine, kind of beating around the bush, that's in quotation marks, conversation all about what was going on with the country to the north. And they determined through some good deception rolls that it seems that potentially the country to the north might take advantage of the situation in Cloudvina, even though they do not have the relic. Guy left a note for Swordmaster Gelmar, the head of the Tempestarium, and a member
Magically
of the...
written, so only he can read it.
Yes, and a
Well,
member
read
of
what
the...
it really means, yeah.
Said,
Yes, and
do
remember-
you like me? Check yes, check no.
Oh, that's adorable.
Well, he's also a member of the Council of Clerics, who is kind of a part of the Congress for the city and the barony here, warning of a potential attack from the north. Then our heroes went over, gathered up their horses, and apparently Stormhoof the Thundermare is a hero.
Ooh.
I forgot about that.
They ventured down the river looking for the Hag's Hut. The last thing that happened... Oh, they also decided to skip past Grimwater Grove a second time, but continued to spread the word of the B-side and all of their exploits in the city of Cloudvina and saving the day. As they ventured further down the river, through the swamps, following the different waymarkers, they found the waymarker that had been lost at one point when they saw the Swamp Sisters' hut last time, and in the distance, they saw the hut. I will describe it again, but that is where we are picking up right now as we speak. The hut is, it's a small little 2-story building that's built up on stilts up over the swampy, boggy water. There is a dry path going from where you can kind of anchor out your boat in like a deeper pool. There's a dry path that leads to a porch along the front. Last time you were here, there was a nice cozy lamp hanging by the front door on this raised porch, and there were lights in the windows. But now the deck out in front, this porch is rotted. There is moss and algae and vines growing all over this building. It looks as though this building has aged 50 years in just the 5 or 6 days since you were last here.
Man, the elements of these swamp must really take a beating on the infrastructure here. That's crazy.
Yeah, Shrek is going to be pissed.
That's a nightmare.
All right, you are currently on the Lady Hawk, which is still the name of your boat because we have not come up with a different name. And what are you guys going to do?
Probably because it's the best name.
I think it's pretty good.
As we approach, I think Guy is going to... I know that I don't have Annelise's name written in my book, but I think he's going to try to contact her anyway.
I
Okay.
think Mogram, too, is going to pull out his toning rod and try to activate that to detect if there's any residual magic in the area.
Okay. Mogram pulls out the toning rod. Guy, you were talking about you don't have Annelise's name in your book, but there was something you wanted to try as well.
Yeah, I'll just try writing her a message and addressing it to her and see how that works.
Okay.
Ornan would like to look around, do basically a survival check to see if anybody's been in the area recently.
Okay, gotcha. All right, why don't you make a survival check? Mogram, you pull out the toning rod, and the toning rod, it starts to hum with a vibration of magic, but you have used this for so many years that you understand that it seems like, at least at this distance, it is residual magic. It is not active magic, at least from this distance.
Got it. Okay.
Ornan got a 20 survival.
20 survival. With a 20 survival, that's a really good roll. You actually see the place in the bank of this pool where last time you were here, you actually kind of beached the Lady Hawk. You can see that area, and you see, you can't see footprints anymore. It's all kind of like washed away with rain and stuff, but the deep divot of where you beached the Lady Hawk, you see it here. So this is definitely the same place, but as far as anybody being around here with a 20, you don't see anything besides what you would expect to see out in a swamp, just kind of undisturbed. It looks like this is a ruin that literally has been just totally ignored for decades.
And the house doesn't have like any sort of sign of occupancy at all. Like not like a chimney
Nope,
smoke.
no
or...
smoke. The doors are kind of hanging at odd angles, or the door you can see is hanging at an odd angle. It looks like it's just worn down and dilapidated.
To be fair, she probably was preparing for us.
I played Baldur's Gate 3 also, so I know to stay away from any frogs acting weird.
I think Mogram's going to go up to the house and check it out.
All right, Mogram's gonna start heading up.
Sylvie will go up with Mogram here too.
Yeah, Baldric's gonna stay right next to Sylvie because Baldric the Black is here as well. Okay, you guys start to approach towards the building. As you get closer, you can see it looks like the wood of the porch is starting to sag and break just from moisture and from disuse. It looks like there are places where it's like more moss than wood even. As you guys are standing on the porch, the boards are like, you can feel their like soggy wood, how it gives, and you can feel it almost like beginning to crumble under your feet. Okay, lumber, wet lumber, okay?
Planks.
There are two windows that look into the kind of common area of this house, and they are just covered in, last time I told you, they're gringy. They're covered in grime. They're very dingy. They are gringy, but they are still intact. Mogram, it looks like you have opened the door.
Yeah, I opened the door and kind of stepped in.
As Mogram and Ornin, Sylvie, and Baldric start moving up towards the hut, Guy stays back a little bit. You are writing out your message. I need you to make a spell attack roll. Difficulty 18.
18?
Yes.
Oh. It was a 16.
It was a 16. As you write the message, you don't have her name in your book, right? You pull this book out of your lead-lined box that you bought last time, write this message. You don't have her name in your book, and yet you feel something intrinsic is working. And then you feel like, I don't know how to describe it except for you feel it hit a barrier, run up against something.
Okay.
And your magical power for this was not enough to break through that barrier to try to reach beyond.
Guys, did I do something to piss off Annelise? I think she blocked my number.
Oh, that's harsh, dude.
I think it might be the hat. She might have expected us to come. I know that sounds crazy, but she might have been prepared.
Did she
Alright.
leave you on red?
So, Mogram, as you look in, you kind of the first one to move into this room. You see there is still at the far end, there is this bar that kind of, it's a little kitchen area. There's a counter. There are some plates and cups that are just covered in dust and dirt and spider webs. There is algae and moss all over the floor. It looks like it kind of crept in under planks and up through the floor to just kind of cover almost every inch of this space. It looks like chairs and tables have fallen apart, just not like they've been smashed, but they've just fallen apart from all of the moisture in the air, all of the being out here in the swamp unattended for years. The fireplace itself is even like, it looks, the inside is all wet, just from rain and from all of the
Wait,
humidity in the air.
Somebody just try to step into that fireplace real quick to see if it opens.
I think Mogram is going to kind of, using his toning rod, it's still kind of in his hand. He's just going to make his way to the north end, near where the fireplace is, and just kind of inspect around.
Yeah, you see that there's a back door that leads out like onto a back deck, just like a small little like 15-foot back deck. There's also a staircase to the south, and there is another room, like a storage room. Last time you were here, one of the sisters brought food from that room for you guys. But as you are moving around with your toning rod, Mogram, heading north towards the fireplace, again, you just get this sense of residual magic. And actually, as you start moving north, you actually feel less residual magic.
Okay.
Like you're walking away from a potential magical source. Real quick, with your detect magic, is there a line of sight requirement or anything? No, there's not. You detect magic upstairs, for sure, 100%. Everything else is residual, but you detect magic upstairs.
I'm going to, while I'm kind of like looking around the room, I'm going to say over my shoulder to everybody else, there is residual traces of magic here in this place, and I'm picking up something emanating from upstairs. Be careful with the rotten wood. It may be a bit dangerous.
All right. Come on, Guy, let's head on upstairs.
Guy is going to make the queen's right hand appear. Ornan, you lead the way. I'll be right behind you.
Perfect. You'll see right over my head. Well, not over the backpack, though.
I'll look around the backpack.
All right, Sylvie, Guy, Ornan, Magram, and Baldric, you all go up the stairs, and you've never been upstairs in here. As you go up the stairs, you look at the top of the stairs. It opens up into just one large room that covers the entire length of the building. You see that there are these beams in the center that hold up the roof. The roof is actually, you can see that the ceiling slants down with the slope of the roof. And you can see there's a couple of old pieces of furniture in here that they look like they've seen better days as well. You see there's a couple of bedrolls that are rolled out on the ground. There's even an old backpack that is just kind of tucked back in a corner. It looks like potentially some people have slept up here. You don't think this is where the sisters slept. I think that you determined that this is probably where they would have let you sleep when they were offering a night's rest here last time you were here.
Can we tell how recent that is? Does it look like they were here this morning?
Years.
Oh, okay.
No, years. This is all old. The bedroll itself is just flaky and falling apart. There's fluff coming out just because looks like maybe rats have gotten to it potentially or something, but it's been here for a very long time. There is one other thing in this room on this second floor. There is in the southeast corner, there is a door. Looks like it might lead to a closet of some kind potentially. The door is closed. But you can see, just with the way that the walls are falling apart and everything, you can see through some of the slats. As you get up here, you start looking around, again, more spider webs. Now you start to see things like mushrooms growing up on these planks. You see that it's almost like there is grass or mold and moss that's kind of creeping out underneath this door to this closet. And Magram, your toning rod is definitely indicating something in that closet is magical.
Okay, without speaking specifically towards that, I will kind of point the toning rod towards the closet and nod my head, kind of indicating that there's something over there.
Make some serious army signs.
Oh, yeah.
Get in position.
Ornan will walk up to the door. Am I at the right one?
Yeah, you're at the correct. Yeah, that's the only door. Ornan, as you walk towards the door, Baldric puts his hand on your shoulder and he whispers in your ear, "You got this, you son of a bitch." And you get.
And then Guy will put his hand on Baldric's shoulder and say, "I believe in you."
You're so kind about it.
Wow, we've suddenly turned so supportive.
This is a little too much, guys. Come on.
Ornan will open the door.
You open the door. Okay, as you open the door, you see there is a small, 15-foot by 15-foot room back here. It's hard to say what this room was at one point because it is dominated by...
Is it dominated by a Morpheus?
Oh, yeah.
It's dominated by multicolored plants, these large fronds and these this blue fern. You can see there are mushrooms that are coming up, but the colors are more vivid. They're not phosphorescent. They don't glow like Ornan, you're used to in the Underdark. This is more very colorful and bright and almost. And you are a connoisseur of mushrooms. You've never seen the these mushrooms in your life. They are almost garish in their colors. But on the eastern wall, where you would expect maybe a window to look out over the front of the building, you see there is what looks like the trunk of a tree has grown up and arched over and then grown back down into the ground, as there is this archway that is here against the wall. It looks like a living wood arch.
It looks like some kind of a magical doorway to me.
There is, behind it, all you can see is like the moss and stuff that's growing on the wall.
Can Sylvie use any sort of like arcana or investigation or something to try to figure out like where it goes?
Sure, go ahead and make an arcana check.
All right, let's see. That is, oh my god, a 15.
15? I mean, it would make sense that this might very well be like a portal of some kind. It's obviously not activated now. Where does it go? With a 15 arcana.
Which, by the way, is low for Sylvie. She rolled a 3 and got a 15.
Yes, I have
But a
plus 12.
15 is still a good roll. You just know that this will take you somewhere that could potentially be dangerous because it seems almost otherworldly in this room already. So what is beyond the portal?
All right, well, Sylvie will explain that, but that I don't know if that's much help since we know it's going to be trouble no matter what.
That's true.
Do we have the ring of one of the ladies? Perhaps that might be some way to activate this.
There's also a bunch of potions from Bubbles' lab that you guys still have never looked at.
I just remembered there's a bunch of potions from Bubbles' lab we never looked at. We'll have to do that another time. I have the rings. We have 2 rings. We could see if they activate it, but then I also wanted to try something else after we try that. I would like to put both rings in this lead-lined box with my book, and then I have a new spell I'd like to try, and I don't want these rings to get in the way. But let's try the rings on the door first, and I'll hand one of the rings to Ornan.
All right, I've been cursed once. What's having it happen twice?
I didn't say put it on. It's like, I don't know, just touch the wall with it or something.
Okay, you have these rings on, so or you have these rings. Ornan has a ring and Guy has a ring.
Ornan's gonna walk up and, with the ring in the palm of his one hand, just like reach the hand through the archway.
Okay, as you reach your hand through the archway, as your hand approaches, there is a moment where you feel your knuckle meets resistance, very, very slight, almost like the surface tension on water. And as soon as your knuckle hits that threshold, there is a ripple in the air. You can see it. You can see behind the moss that's growing up on the wall, but it looks like there is a film of water that ripples over it, and it ripples out from your hand, and your hand pushes through this sort of liquid feeling barrier, and you can no longer see your hand.
Oh, yeah.
That's trippy as hell, bro.
All right, I guess grab onto the stump and somebody come with me.
Yeah, everybody hold hands. We're like a kindergarten class walking to the lunchroom.
Know your buddy.
You guys all hold hands, and you're going in.
And we sing while we do it.
And Guy tries to get between Sylvie and Baldric just to be
Oh, no,
an
you don't. Sylvie jabs him with her elbow, but her elbow is very low for him, so watch out.
Baldric, you have such a strong grip. Is that from all the fingering you do on your lute?
Oh, man.
Lute is in quotes.
Fingering it. I was just going to say fingering is in quotes. Oh, my gosh.
You guys, as you push through, suddenly you are standing in a room. A small 15 by 15 foot room with a door on the north side. It looks like behind you there is this wooden arch, but inside there is some furniture. You see there's a little cot. There is a shelf with some baked goods on it, and the door to the north is open, and you can see out beyond into this room. It covers this whole length of this space. It looks like it doesn't take you long to realize you are in a copy of the building you were just in. However, this is in much better repair.
I know I already used my Arcana, but can we tell if it's a different time or a different space or a complete illusion?
Why don't you make another Arcana check, actually? Because you're trying to do something different now.
Okay, well, that one I got a 25, so I feel better.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. With your 25, you are 100% in a different space. However, you are in this familiar space. You did not go upstairs before when you were here in the Swamp Sisters' hut in their house, but this has that same feeling. It doesn't take long for you, Sylvie, as you come through. You assess the area. You assess kind of what's going on around you.
Like a bloodhound does.
Like a bloodhound does. You are in the copy of this house that was at one point out in the swamp. But now you are somewhere else. With a 25 Arcana check, you are fairly certain you are nowhere in Via Severia right now. You are not even sure you are on the same plane as Via Severia right now.
Associates, we're not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah, I think Mogram's been kind of picking up something like this. He's going to kind of talk to Sylvie and say, what do you think this could be? Perhaps like a pocket dimension or something?
Oh, I've heard about those pocket dimensions that you just kind of keep for whenever you need them. Seems convenient.
Like pocket pool?
Something like that. I don't think we're in Via Severia anymore.
Let me go first, Mogram. If we're gonna leave the room, I'd like to be in the front.
Wait, hold up, Ornan. Here, give me the ring. I'm gonna put these rings away.
All right.
I just feel like if they're connected to her, my sense of them approaching, but also I wanted to do this, and then I'm going to cast the spell, locate object, and I'm going to try to find another one of these rings that I know the other sister probably had.
Okay. What's the distance on that?
It's a concentration for 10 minutes, and it has a distance of 1,000 feet.
Within 1,000 feet of you right now, you do not detect another ring like what you had.
I don't sense the other ring here within, give or take 1,000 feet. But that doesn't mean that she's not here.
Well, perhaps we should be on our guard as we advance further into this house.
Yeah, I would say with the 25 Arcana, real quick, I've been thinking about this a little bit more. It's almost like this side has switched places. I think I may have already said that, but this side has switched places, almost like the normal...
Kind of almost spirited away, almost seeming. Like it just kind of like all of a sudden transitioned to a different space. Okay. All right.
Don't eat any of the food here or you become a pig.
Oh dear. Do we have any children that could identify us if we do turn into a pig?
All right. Is anybody moving out into the room at all? You guys are just hanging out here in this small little bedroom.
Yeah, I think eventually we do have to leave the room.
Or then we'll start moving towards the stairs.
As we leave the room, Guy will put his hand on Sylvie and Mogram and say, I believe in you too. You have bardic inspiration.
Aw, thanks, Guy.
You are giving us bardic inspiration?
Yes.
And Baldric looks at you, Guy, and he says, and you got this, you son of a bitch. And then you have Baldric inspiration as well. As you guys come out into this room, it runs the length of the building, just like in the other through the portal, except for this one's in much better shape. I mean, it looks old, right? It's like it's not a new building, but it's well cared for. The floors are clean and swept. There are these 2 bedrolls that are all rolled out. It looks like somebody may have just been sleeping here just the night before. There's a backpack in the corner. It looks like somebody may have just set it aside. Somebody was staying here. There is a small glow coming from the fireplace up here on the 2nd floor. You see that there's a staircase heading back down into the rest of the building. What are you guys gonna do?
Ornan's gonna walk down the stairs.
Before we go down the stairs, I do want to kind of check out those backpacks too.
Okay. Yeah, you start looking around in the backpacks. You find a tent, you find bedrolls. Well, actually, the bedrolls are already rolled out. But you find a tent, you find some rations. It looks like there's like 6 days worth of rations in the bag. You find a couple of daggers. You find some cookingware. You find a journal.
Take in the journal, because I want to know who is here. I want to just look through it really quick.
Yeah, you've got to stop taking journals and books that aren't yours. This is exactly why you have these issues, these ghost lady issues.
So you take this journal. Mogram, is your toning rod still out?
Yeah.
The journal, as you pull it out, the journal is magic.
Oh, there is a magical element to that journal. Be careful with it.
Told you so.
Sylvie, I know you're a little salty about me reading your journal, but you just gotta find a better hiding spot, okay?
We literally walked into a new dimension and the first thing you did was find somebody's journal to steal.
But Sylvie, aren't you the one that just reads our minds and listens to our thoughts as we're journaling?
That's
Only
true.
when I need to.
The journal itself is not magic, but there is an illusion on the. You can detect the school of illusion on the journal.
Okay. I'll tell that to Guy.
I'll hand it over to you, Markham. You know more about this stuff than I do. I don't want I don't want more spooky ladies in my life.
For that journal, Paul, could I do like an Arcana check to see if I can like understand if it's like an illusionment charm that's on it to change its appearance?
Yeah, go ahead. Arcana.
A 15.
I'd say with a 15, you start to look through the journal a little bit to kind of see what, you have to open it up. You see that there is writing, and you see that there is little stories about like, oh, today I was out picking mushrooms, and this person on a grand adventure, right? They're traveling to go see family that's far distant that they haven't seen forever, and this is an account of their travels, and it takes you about, just skimming 2 or 3 pages to recognize that the journal is actually blank, and this is an illusion put on the journal to add some semblance of reality to it. Does that make sense? This is a prop.
Got it. Okay.
So they're not trying to hide information. They're trying to make it seem like more is actually going on here.
I mean, I'll still hold on to the journal, but yeah.
Yeah, Baldric and Ornan have moved downstairs. Ornan, you recognize this common area from the last time you were here. These 3 swamp sisters were trying to get you guys to eat some soup. And I believe somebody actually did eat some soup.
I don't remember.
It wasn't me.
Was that me? Did I eat the soup? I think
I didn't eat it in the kitchen. It wasn't me.
I still have the runs.
You can see the bar is in much better shape. The bowls are stacked up nice and neat. You can see that there is a fresh loaf of bread on one of the tables. There are candles that are lit. You can see the fireplace is warm and homey. The windows are not all covered in grime. They are still leaded, so it's still kind of hard to see out. But this looks like the building you saw before.
Okay.
For sure.
Ornan is going to cross to the other side of the room because this is a door that we didn't explore when we were here last time, and I would just because looking for Annelise or signs of other people in the area, didn't see anything right away, so I'm just going to move there and open the door.
You open the door and you see a back deck. This back deck is also made of planks. Again, these are lovingly cared for. It looks like they have been taken care. They've been waxed and they've been sanded. They're old, but they're taken care of. And it is this little back deck. It's like this little 15-foot by 10-foot deck up above the wet ground. As you open the door, that is where things get different. You look out and you see swamp as far as the eye can see. It looks similar to the swamp you guys were just in, except for one big difference. Well, lots of big differences. The trees are totally different. These trees are vibrantly colored. They are pinks and greens, like bright green. There are some with blue leaves. You can see that they still have that flora of a swamp or a bog where there's still like vines hanging down. There's still like lily pads floating in some of these ponds, but it's all just more vibrant. It's more colorful. It's more
it's like a majestic swamp as opposed to a depressing swamp. No, not as much malaria.
Yes and no. You still get that it's still kind of humid here. Oh, it's warm out. It's not cold and rainy. It's kind of warm out. It's kind of a humid and muggy swamp almost.
Oh no, guys. We're in the Everglades. Watch out for gators.
And Burmese pythons.
Yeah, I'd like to. I mean, do I notice any paths? Do I see like where, tracks or anything like people might be moving around, or like they had come through this way or something?
As you step out onto the deck, you start looking around, you get a little bit better view than just looking through the doorway. You see that, yes, there are pools and little streams all over the place. It looks like this place is definitely going to be better to traverse with a boat. And you do see there is a little rowboat that is tied off here to this back deck. It looks like all 5 of you should be able to fit in it, no problem. As you look around, you don't see anything too different. Like the land, every direction looks the same except for looking north. As you look to the north, you see rising up above the trees, you see this castle rising up off of this rocky outcropping. It's some distance away, but it looks like it's covered in trees. It looks like there might be one large tree growing out of the middle of it, potentially. It is a
Swamp castle! Swamp castle!
Like a storybook castle looking, too.
It's almost more like a storybook castle.
It's like Shrek's spinal form.
It's not built for defense, although it looks like it would be defensible. But it's not like like an outer wall and a barbican and
a bailey.
Yes,
it's more like a manor castle.
Turrets.
Yes.
All right, new theory, everybody. I hit my head at some point, and now I'm hallucinating one of the stories my mama used to read to me.
You also heard of the Swamp Princess and the Frog?
Well, there's a evil King Farquaad, and there was a talking donkey,
a little wooden boy wearing a thong.
That's right. It's a thong, not the gumdrop buttons.
Well, that looks like the place where I'd hide if I were a swamp lady.
I don't know if that's hiding so much as like living it up. Paul, do I feel any of that pressure, any of that weight that would come from being close to the presence of Jib Jab or Bubbles?
No, you do not. But you all can sense the unnaturalness of this. Does that make sense? It's not this.
Yeah.
That's a bad word to use because I already used it to describe Jib Jab. This is almost supernatural.
Oh, I love that show. I couldn't wait for Dean and Sam to kiss.
Wait, weren't they brothers?
Yeah, wait a second.
That doesn't stop them from kissing, though.
Toxic fandom, anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
Don't you guys? They even made fun of it in an episode where they went to a supernatural con, and then everybody was like the homoerotic ancestral undertones
Oh
of
my gosh.
of the stories.
They're not wrong.
All right.
It's like that great Folgers commercial.
I was just thinking
Oh
that.
my gosh. Okay. What are you guys going to do?
Well, there's a boat.
Well, I know how to pilot a boat.
You guys going to load up into a boat?
Well, I think that we should probably investigate this castle because beyond what we have done right now of going back to this place and investigating it, I have no other leads to be able to track down Annelise. So I think that this is the only way that we can continue to try to understand what perhaps this place is or where else we may be able to go to find her.
I completely agree, but I will say this. If I were playing a video game, I'd wander off in every other direction to make sure I didn't miss any side quests before I go to the obvious next point in my quests.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, but we won't know if Annelise is going to be around for forever, because it's not a video game.
Ornan climbs into the little rowboat and stands heroically on the prow, waiting for someone to row.
Of this little dinghy.
Oh, hey, Ornan, you dropped this. You forgot to put on your white powdered wig and tricorn hat.
Oh,
You look so cool.
thank you.
Guy's going to hand off the banner of bravery for Baldric to hold while we paddle across.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. Yeah, you guys are going to start paddling here through these streams and brooks, these little ponds. You start to paddle away from the hag's house, from the Swamp Sister's house. You start paddling and you it's easy to see the castle from anywhere in the swamp. You can see it rising up above the trees, so you don't lose sight of it as you begin to paddle. As you move through the water, you paddle and paddle and paddle and paddle. And it seems like you're not getting any closer. As you paddle for an hour or two, you should have been there by now. It's maybe a little bit bigger on the horizon, but you're not getting any closer to the castle. I want everyone to make perception checks.
Say no more, fam.
Do you suppose that this castle's just like a backdrop and this is just another prop? Guy got a 21 perception.
Orton got a 2.
Sylvie got a 14.
Oh, yeah. Mogram got a 29. Let's
Dang.
go.
Perceiving the
I
hell
saw
out of
into
this
your
place.
souls.
Guys, I think I've gone blind.
Guy and Mogram, as you are paddling along, at one point you guys kind of stop paddling and you're just kind of trying to figure this out. You're talking a little bit about what's going on. And Guy and Mogram, you hear a little bit off, kind of up ahead and off to the right, you hear music. You hear like a little bit of like flute on the wind. And you hear a little bit of some kind of a lute, a string instrument of some kind, a little distant, but up ahead and to the right.
Hey guys, up and to the head and to the right, I think Sylvia and Baldric are playing a duet. Wait, you're both here. What?
Baldric flaps his wings and flies away with Sylvie in his clutches. They're on to us, Sylvie.
And he's like, scream! And he's like a bird demon. Okay.
What if we were to like run into a giant wall and it turns out that everybody is actually watching us for entertainment purposes and it's all been a setup this whole time?
I've heard of that kind of thing.
And they call it the Mogram Show.
I think I saw that play.
Could you imagine if anybody observed our story, our lives, and got entertainment from it? Come on.
That would be terrifying because I have talked a lot about urine over the years.
I go through life mostly confused about the way things operate. I don't think it would be very entertaining.
As you stumble from one woman's bed into another woman's bed. How did I end up here?
Trying to get him to commit to you.
Oh, man. Well, I do hear music coming in on the wind from up here. Starboard side, starboard bow side. I promise I really know boat terms. I can't remember which side's starboard or which side's port, but anyway.
Right side is starboard.
Yeah, starboard bow. Off the starboard bow, I do hear some music coming toward us. Should we go check it out, since we're not getting any closer to this castle? If I look behind me, how far away is can we still see, like, the Witch's Lodge, the Hag's Lodge?
You can.
We're still tied up to the
I was wondering when someone was going to say, untie the boat. No, you have moved away from the lodge. You can see the peak of the roof, but you're not nearly as far as you expect to be. So it's like you are moving towards the castle, and you are moving away from the Swamp Sisters' house, but not as quickly as you would expect.
Well, we might as well check out the music. Can't be any worse than dying in the swamp.
I can think of worse places to die than a swamp, though.
Well, yeah, but it'd be nice if we at least had music to, like, accompany our death, you know?
True that.
Baldric, that's your cue.
Make it body and ribbled.
Okay. He pulls out his lute and he starts strumming away and he goes, I love myself. I want you to love me. And as you start to go paddle towards the sound of music, I'm going to move you to a different map.
Wait, are we seriously heading toward Fraulein Maria and all those Von Trapp children?
That's not the song I was singing.
No, but you did say we were heading toward the sound of music.
Oh, it's so pretty! Ooh, hello.
Yes, indeed.
Did nobody else catch the pulse that we're heading toward the sound of music?
I was too busy looking at this lady with the horns. What's lapping?
Baldric looks a little bit like concerned. He's like, I've got horns too. You guys paddle around kind of a bend, and you see there's this little island. The grass is really, really green and vibrant. There are these beautiful, like red and kind of like a bluish green tree. You see, though, there is this clearing in this forested swamp. There is dry ground. There is a couple of, well, first off, let's start with what we see right in the middle. In the middle, there is a fire pit, and there is something cooking over the fire pit. There is also a table that is covered with food. It looks like there is like some vegetables and some fruits. It looks like there's some like baked goods and breads, and there's honey. There's like some gourds and pumpkins. You can see that around the outside of this clearing, there are like 4 tents. And in the middle of the clearing, you see there are 2 figures that are standing by the fireplace. One of them, she has horns. She has the pointed...
She gives me the horn, too.
She has pointed ears like an elf, except for they're like 3 times as big. She's kind of short, and there's something off about her, the way she moves. She's very like elegant, and she's kind of dancing in place. You notice that her legs are goat's legs. This is a satyr. And you see the other fellow. He is, he's similar. He's got horns. They curve a different way. He's got.
I love his guitar.
Come on! I was trying to cut most of it out.
He's gonna play some tasty licks. This guy.
That guitar has no resonating chamber in it at all. It's definitely an electric bass guitar.
Okay. Anyway, he's got these large ears. Another satyr. He's got this big, thick, kind of gray beard, long hair. They're both dressed in browns and greens, and they are playing music and dancing around. And it takes a second to notice, but off to the north side, the other side of the table, you see 2 other figures. You see they are humanoid in shape, and they are sort of statuesque, if anything. They look like they are fit and almost sculpted, but sculpted out of wood. I need Arcana checks, Arcana or survival checks.
I'm actually going to use my Baldric inspiration to make sure that I do like really good on this. Is it a D10 or a D8?
His is a D, whatever Gee's is. It's
D8.
the same.
They're D8s, yeah.
Sylvie got a 26.
Ornan got a 20.
Markham got a 20.
Guy got a 12.
With your 26 Arcana check, Sylvie, it clicks. You are in the Feywild. There's no pocket dimension. This is the Feywild. You are in another plane.
Oh.
These are satyrs, and these kind of wooden, grassy, tree-like figures appear to be dryads.
Do I know anything about satyrs and dryads? Like, are they cooking people on that?
With your 26 Arcana, I'll tell you there are some things. You know myths and legends about the Feywild.
Like, I know I'm not going to give them my name.
You know that names are important. You know that if they give you a name, it's probably not their real name. You know that deals are very, very important here. But there's often a level of trickery or deception involved. You're not getting the deal you think you're getting. At least this is what you've read. You've also heard, with your 26, I'll just tell you this. You've heard you are not supposed to eat anything offered to you here. That implies some kind of a deal, some kind of a commitment, and it can tie you to the Feywild.
All right, guys, don't eat anything, even if it looks super yummy.
You also know, with your 26 Arcana, I'll just give this to you as well, there are stories of people who are in the Feywild, and these are fairy tales, but they fall asleep, and when they wake up, years have passed. Although they stay the same age. So it's also advised not to sleep while you're here because you don't know what's happening on the material plane. And with your Arcana of 26, there's like a scientific diagram that shows how these forces work and don't work and how they counter each other. There's even equations that you've seen written out
so he's
that
going to start
explain.
getting really excited and start trying to like diagram that in the dirt for people. Like
Yeah, there's
nobody's listening.
There's like lambdas and like pi, and there's
the
like
passage of time is just Jeremy Baramy here.
It's so exciting if you think
Yes.
about it.
That dot right there is Tuesday.
That's my birthday. That's my birthday. That's my birthday. But that's kind of what you know. You also know that the Feywild, it's not so much that things are evil or good here. They just are. And their natural tendencies, their natural inclinations are not diabolical or this is just who they are. This is just these beings, the Fey. They operate on kind of different rules than the material plane.
They're not mortals. It's a little different. I feel that.
Have they noticed us approaching?
Not yet.
I think they should be friendly with us as long as we keep our cool, don't eat anything, don't fall asleep, and don't make any stupid deals.
What if I get them to make a stupid deal?
No, you will not get them to make a stupid deal. The best we can hope for is a deal that we can live with.
Well, we need to find Annelise. We need to find this last swamp sister. Which one survived? She had a flower name. I can't remember which one. Once they transformed, they all looked the same to me.
That's a little racist.
It's speciesist. Let's use the correct term.
I'm 99% sure that it was Violet who survived.
Okay. And we're supposed to use fake names, right?
Yeah, don't give them your names.
Okay. Well, good thing I already gave you all fake names.
Ornan will raise his hand and in Sylvan say, "Oh, there!"
Oh, the music stops. The dryads disappear as they kind of duck back into the trees, and then they don't really disappear. It's going to take searching for them because they blend in with the natural surroundings so well. The satyrs stop and they kind of step away and they look in your direction as you float on up the river.
We come in peace. There's no need to be alarmed.
Yes, it is I, Prince Gregor von Stubendorf.
Ornan spoke Sylvan. What languages are the rest of you speaking?
Common.
I mean, I could try Elvish and Gnomish.
I'll speak Celestial.
Okay. The two satyrs look at each other, and then the woman steps forward, and she says, in Sylvan, Ornan, what? How do you find yourself here?
Well, it's quite the story. You see, we had these rings, and there was this archway made out of wood. We're looking for a friend, and we just kind of waltzed right on through. Have you seen a hag passing by?
She looks over at the other satyr, and then the one with the beard, he kind of spits on the ground, and then the woman turns back. She says, "You seek the court of Fen and Fog."
I don't know anything about courts. That is to say, I'm looking for someone who kidnapped a friend of mine. A friend and an acquaintance?
All I know about courts is the basketball court. And then I'll pretend to do a jump shot.
Sylvie will have cast Rosetta Stone so she can actually understand what's happening.
Okay, so Sylvie understands. You can't speak it, but you can understand what's being said.
Oh, I'll follow that lead. I'll cast it as well.
Okay. Magram and Baldric, you do not speak Sylvan, so you are both kind of left out of this conversation. The woman, she says, "Will you join us at our fire?"
Oh, it is... I've been warned about, like, arrangements or something.
We can probably sit by her fire. Sylvia will say this to Ord and say, we can probably sit by their fire.
Oh.
Just don't eat anything.
Sure.
And
But
don't
can
make any promises.
Could they eat something that I give them? Or does it work both ways?
I don't think it really matters.
With your 26 Arcana, you would know that if you can trick a fae into eating something of yours, then they might owe you some kind of a favor.
Okay, yeah, but it's a super rude thing to do. So, like, if you're gonna do it, maybe only do it as the last resort. Don't just try to with them.
I was just waiting for them to talk again, and I'm waiting to like throw some of my trail mix into their mouth.
I've got this ale that perhaps they might enjoy.
You could offer it to them, but just don't try and trick them into it. They'll probably
All right.
decline.
My friends, I'll introduce you momentarily. None of them can speak the language, but some of them might be able to understand. I'm not really sure how magic works, but we can sit by your fire.
Will you sit by our fire and share a song?
Oh, this one here plays music, and this one here plays a flute sometimes. But sure, I would love to hear a song.
What if we were to trade you a song for information?
She can't understand you.
That's stupid. You're stupid.
My friend here wonders
She looks
if
at you and she kind of nods. Yeah, uh-huh.
my friend here thinks we could have an exchange of a song for some information, maybe. Oh, wait, are you singing or are we singing? I'm confused.
She says, well, we can all sing. We'll share a song with you as you share our fire. And you share a song with us. And you want information?
I've also got some ale to share if you'd like it. It's my own special brew.
Come to our fire. She says, come to our fire. And then she turns around and she says in Silva, she moves towards the trees. And then as she comes back, the two dryads come back out of the trees. It looks like their fears have been assuaged for the time being.
Everybody make sure that you don't fall asleep. They're not going to sing us a lullaby to sleep.
Hey, Baldric, I have an idea for the song you should sing, and it might even make them laugh. It's that, if you are a treasure chest with giant pointed fangs and a long slobbering tongue, you might be a mimic. That one. We should do that one.
Oh,
I know the lyrics. I can sing it. I can sing with you. It's a banger.
it is a banger. The satyr steps forward. She says, you may call me Caperion, and this is Fenwick. And she points to the other satyr.
A pleasure, Caporion and Fenwick. I'm Tedward. This here is Crisscross. Lacrosse. And that one is Sally. I don't remember her name.
No last name. Sally, no last name.
Yeah,
Don't
Sally,
worry
no
about
last
it.
name. And
But it's not because I'm poor.
the scaly one is Gargoyle, we call him, I guess. And
And then Tanuki.
Tanuki. Yeah. That one's Tanuki. And
Oh, no.
this one is my dear friend,
Prince Gregor von Stubendorf.
oh, Gregor von Stubendorfel Mocker.
Yes, we keep those parts silent.
Okay, I don't know whose names are who, but she nods and she says, I am Caperion, this is Fenwick. And then she points to the other two and she says, that is, there's two dryads, there's a man and a woman. The woman, she says, this is Ashenly. And to the man, she says, and this is Manhogany.
Oh my gosh. Did you say Ashley and Manhogany?
Ashenly,
That's
and then
amazing.
Manhogany.
That's
so,
Man.
that's so good.
Oh.
She starts to kind of play on her flute a little bit, and Fenwick starts to strum on his lute. And she is no longer talking; he is talking. He says, as he's talking to you, it's almost in song, right? There is a melody to the way that he speaks, and I'm not going to attempt it because it's otherworldly. But he does say, He says, "Tell me, where are you from? And what is it that brings you here? If you seek out the court of fen and fog, then you're in danger, I fear." That rhymed, in case you couldn't tell. It was supposed to rhyme because he's singing it.
Do they understand? Have they understood me when I've been speaking common?
No.
Okay. I guess Ornan's kind of a spokesperson. Great.
I'll do my best. We'll see how this turns out. We come from over there. We went through the wood arch thing, and before that we were in Cloudvina.
And Baldric plays a power chord to accompany you.
And I don't know anything about fens or fogs, but we're looking for a hag named Violet, because she stole our friend, and we want to get our friend back.
The ladies of fen and fog. You seek one, but not all three.
Tell them that we killed the hag.
Oh, we killed 2 of them. We're trying to find the last one. Get her too.
You seek to destroy a monarch here in our swamp.
Oh dear.
I'm trying to sound sing-songy and it's failing. I'm sorry, guys. You seek to destroy a monarch in our swamp.
This is serious.
Don't know anything about monarchs, and I'm not sure we're talking about the same person, but...
The 3 sisters, the flowers, they call themselves. Violet, Daisy, and the other one. What was her name? Violet, Daisy, and Orchid.
Well, I think Daisy and Orchid are no longer with us.
Pushing up daisies and orchids.
That's right. Fertilizer in Cloudvina.
Well, Violet will be wroth with you.
Okay, well, we're angry too.
She stole our friend. We're a little wroth with her.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm so wroth, people call me David Lee.
They actually call you Roth Lacrosse.
I was going to say Roth Lacrosse,
Roth
but David Lee was
Lacrosse.
even better.
That's Roth Lacrosse to you.
If you seek the ladies of Fog and Fen, then now is not the hour to approach.
Well, we tried to go to that castle there. We thought that might be where they are, and we couldn't make any progress.
Oh, no. And he looks up at the sky and he says, No, the sun is much too high.
Now, when I'm in my home plane, I'm generally a little confused about things, but that makes even less sense than I'm used to.
He nods and then he keeps playing the lute. I can't explain how things work here any better than you can explain how things work where you're from.
Well, how does one get to there, then?
When the hour is right, you set out.
How does one change the hour?
The hours change on their own. The hours are changing now as we've been singing. As he says that, you realize that in this, relatively short conversation, the sun has moved across the sky quite a bit. We'd say probably 3 or 4 hours.
That could be 3 or 4 days in real human time, guys. We better hurry.
Now, Sylvie, you're fairly certain that time, it might move differently while you're in here when you're awake, but the big fear is definitely sleep.
Well, then it's a good thing that I'm immune to magical sleep. Ask them what time would be the best time to approach.
Oh, what time should we go? Well, where should the sun be in the sky if we want to get there? Oh, and is that where we want to go to find them? This Fen Fog people?
The court of Fen and Fog, that is their castle. The sun is not welcome in the court of Fen and Fog.
So we should wait for the sun to set upon this bog?
Ayo!
Except that he can't understand me, so he's not impressed.
That was impressive. This is what my friend said.
The words don't rhyme in Sylvan.
Oh,
don't at
yeah,
all.
it's doesn't quite have the same ting to it. Sorry.
Stay with us. Sing, dance, rest. When the sun is down, your journey continue.
I would love to dance a little. I've got this ale I'd love to share with you. I brewed it myself.
He kind of stops playing. She continues, Caperion continues to play her flute and kind of move around the table, around the dryads. They are starting to venture out more from behind the table. And Fenwick, this satyr with the lute, the bass guitar lute, moves towards you, Ornan. He says, a gift. Well, I couldn't accept a gift without giving one in return.
What sort of gift do you have in mind? And Ornan will unstop some and pour out a mug for him.
You know, it's a shame that he can't understand any of the words. You could tell him, like, this songs are great. This guy Baldric here, he sings songs about underwear and all the time.
I think the Fae are pretty used to that. They're not exactly prudes.
Hell yeah.
Fenwick leans towards you. I want you to make a persuasion check, Ornan.
Ooh. That's a nat one. For 6.
He leans towards you. He kind of looks in the cup, and then he kind of inclines his head towards you, a little bow, and he says, another time. And then he turns around and just starts dancing and playing his lute, and the air is filled with music. And I'm going to have Baldric make a wisdom save. Baldric pulls out his lute and begins to strum along, and then he kind of stops and kind of moves back away from the fire pit.
Is he looking off?
Sylvie, if you want to make a perception check, you can. As you're watching Baldric, you have a connection to him.
Hell yeah, I do. That's a 16.
I'll say you felt like it looks like maybe he was getting caught up, and then he caught himself. He listened to what you said earlier.
He's so smart.
He did not want to get caught up in the revelry.
Good boyfriend.
There you go. There's that label again.
Yes. Okay. All right. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to stay here and party with the dryads? And what happened to this campaign? You guys want to party with the dryads and the satyrs as you wait for the fairy castle? Oh my gosh.
I mean, yeah.
Nope.
I do.
I think that Guy is going to... I don't know. Matt wants Guy to be careful, but I don't see Guy being terribly careful.
I think
okay.
that as long as if anybody gets a little sus, Sylvie's gonna bust out her flute and start playing to distract from the hypnotic music.
Okay, Magram, Ashenly, she comes up behind you and she kind of puts her hand on your shoulder.
Hey, excuse me. Did you need something?
Could you imagine the slivers?
Oh no!
Oh. She holds out her hands and she kind of motions for you to take them, and you get the impression she wants to dance with you.
Magram has never been much of a dancer, my dear. Perhaps another time.
Then she moves on. Guy, do you accept her dance?
All right, hey, everybody, just make sure I don't get too wild. And yeah, totally dance.
Okay.
Go have fun. When else are you going to get this chance?
Okay. Caperion is playing her flute. Fenwick is playing his lute, and he is singing some songs. Manhogany is singing along as well in this deep, sort of rich voice. The only one who understands any of the words is Ornan, and they just sing of the powers of nature. They sing of the sky and the sun and the life, and they sing of leaves and trees. They sing of the wind as it blows through. And Ornan, since you can understand what's being sung, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wait, I can too because of Rosetta.
Oh, and Guy and Sylvia, I need you all to make wisdom saving throws. Anyone who can understand the words.
Is this a spell effect?
Yes, it is.
Then I'll get advantage because I'm a gnome.
Guy got a 23 wisdom save. Whew.
Ornan got a 19. I rolled a nat 1 and I rolled a 19.
Oh my gosh.
Can I understand it? Do I need to do it?
You do not understand the words. You don't speak Sylvan, do you?
No, I don't. Okay.
Yeah, so no, you don't understand the words.
I love how Magram is just that guy who doesn't understand what's going on and is just kind of smiling in the corner.
14 is what we got.
All right, Guy, you dance along with Ashenly, but you continue to glance up at the sky, and you see you have managed to make the sun sort of a touchstone for you. You continue to glance up at the sky, and the sun is what you're focused on even as you're dancing with Ashley.
Just staring right into it.
Well, no, I mean, you know what I mean. You just keep your focus on it.
No special glasses.
You see it moving across the sky. And Ornan, you also, maybe it's just your folksy, down homeness, or I don't know what it is, but just you can feel time wanting to slip by. You can feel that these words of this song they're getting to some part of your brain, but you manage to shrug it off just with your nibblins. Sylvie, you start to dance and you start to join in with your flute, and you just start to feel really comfortable and good here. It kind of reminds you of...
Oh no, my clothes started falling off.
It kind of reminds you of home. Yes, there was a lot of studying, there was a lot of learning, but there was also these times, you guys were a family. There was these times of just, coming together and enjoying each other's company and laughter and, just good times. And you feel that again, and you get caught up in it. I need everyone to make perception checks besides Sylvie.
Okay, perception.
Caught up in the moment with you.
Ornan got a 16.
Guy got a 20.
Malcolm got a 26.
Baldric got a 15. Magram and Guy, you recognize Sylvie is kind of losing herself here. You see that her eyes are starting to kind of glaze over.
Because I gave such good warnings, you knew exactly what to look for.
I'll say
You're
yes.
welcome.
I'll say yes. Baldric does not notice. Ornan, you do not notice either, but Guy and Magram, you both see this. And I'll say, Guy, you look up in the sky one last time, and you see the sun is just about to set beyond the horizon.
Well, I think we're done here. Thank you so much for the music. Thank you for the dancing. You can't understand me, but Ornan, translate.
I think we're leaving.
Come on, guys. It's such a beautiful night.
It's time that we get going.
Manhogany starts coming over to you, Sylvie. He is chiseled.
Oh.
Good grief.
You all, everybody besides Sylvie recognize it's time to go. And you see Sylvie with her losing herself here. You see her starting to wander towards the table with food. And you just
Slap her hand. No, I pull out a squirt bottle and squirt her in the face. No.
Baldur comes up and grabs your hand, Sylvie, and he leads you away. Ornan, as you're saying, we got to be going. We're leaving now. And you see that the music continues to play. They continue to dance. There is still this feeling in the air of just wanting to be here, wanting to be comfortable, wanting to be, it feels safe here. It feels secure and safe. And you can feel that, but you're able to resist that urge as you all climb back into the boat, paddle out into the stream.
Next time we'll host. See ya.
I want to go back. They're my friends.
Dang, this place rules, right?
The food did look really good.
I got some trail mix. I'll just eat my trail mix.
Some gorp. Good old raisins and peanuts. As you are moving back out into the boat, you move back into the stream, and the sun sets behind the horizon. As you paddle around a bend, suddenly the castle is looming up right in front of you. As you move towards the castle, it is right there. You see this castle is built up on this rocky outcropping, and you start to approach it. You start to paddle around this structure, and the first thing you notice is that there's no doors. There's no doors. This is up on a hill, up on this rocky outcropping, and there's no way to actually get into the castle. But you do see, as you paddle around, there is a cave opening on the south side of this rocky outcropping that this castle is built on, and the water from the swamp flows into this cave.
Smuggler's port.
You can see that inside the cave it is dark. There is no light coming from inside the cave. You see that it looks like the cave, as you approach, it kind of jogs off to the left, and then it looks like it curves a little bit, and it must wind around underneath the castle. You have arrived at the home of the court of Fen and Fog, where you think you're going to find Violet and hopefully Jib Jab and Annelise. Next time. That was an awkward transition.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Segue.
Yeah. Segue to the next thing. All right, guys. Well, hey, you guys are in the Fey Wild.
Yeah. Did not expect to be here.
That was, unexpected as well.
Hey, guys. Thanks for playing.
You're welcome.
Woohoo. Next time we're together, we'll see what lies in this cave underneath the castle of the Court of Fog and Fen. Until then, hey, don't forget, go check out Patreon. You can see maps of where we've been. You can also listen to Your Neighbor's Potatoes, which is a really fun after show where we talk about all the little things that happen. We answer some of your questions. You guys get some insight into why we do some of the stupid things that we do. And we get a little bit more blue. We do...
What? Not me.
A little bit more naked.
A little bit more naked on our after show.
It's not recorded though, but we are all naked.
I was this summer many times because it was so hot. Anyway, we'll see you guys again next week. And until we get together again, we hope you have... until we get together next time. Until what do I say?
Until next
Have a
time.
great
It's just
time
not
next
translating well from Sylvan. That's what's going on.
Yes, exactly. I'm stuck in Sylvan. Until we get together next time, we hope you have a great time. Or something like that.
Something like that.
Beautiful.
With a rhyme in there.